Hello everyone. Welcome to the first SimCasino stream. I don't actually have to remember a number if it's the first one. I'm Yosha. With me today are two lovely people, not just one. Go ahead and say hello to Arthur and Michael.
Hello, hello everyone.
I'll be the new voice.
Yeah, he's imageless, but he is here with us in spirit and in sound.
Looks like I'm frozen in time.
Woo!
Joshua, we can't hear you.
What?
What's that?
Now I get it. There's a delay on the stream. So
Yes.
I saw his mouth moving, but he wasn't saying anything. That's it.
Yeah, you got to get used to it a little bit. If you just watch the local chat, you'll see the live view.
Yeah.
Which is a
Because I
little
want to
fast.
see the chat as well, but yeah.
Yeah, this is our first SimCasino stream. We had a take one last week, and we had quote unquote personal issues. Really, it was I had in-laws that caused personal issues here. Shout out to those fine people. And then actually today, last night I started feeling like crap too, but I'm not going to do that to you guys twice. So we are here. We're ready to play some SimCasino, and luckily we've got two other guys to anchor the show.
So what were you
So
gonna
I think
do
we
today?
started this back in, was it 2nd of July? I think we started this in 2019. It's been about a year and a half of development.
SimCasino?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome to be at this spot now, finally, and have it out. You may not know, but we started this development in 2D. We were going to do something more like Sim Airport, and we got fairly close to ready with it before I upended us and said, why are we going to do this halfway? Why don't we go full out and make this a 3D experience?
And it was a bit more than clicking a button and converting it to 3D.
Just a little bit. We still fight with it every now and then.
Yeah. I'm going to
But
try
yeah.
and look for some old screenshots of it.
Yeah, I think it's so worth it. Hopefully you guys do too. It seems like we released. It was pretty rough the first couple of days, but I think compared to like some airports release, where it took 3 months to get it under control, I think we've really done a pretty damn good job. It sounds like most of you guys agree.
By the way, I'm just gonna start a new game. I haven't prepared anything for this stream like we usually did for the Sim Airport stream. Mostly because we just want to show you from the new game startup. I'm gonna play with unlocked cache, so we can play some, or you can build it so in more of a fancy way, not have to look at the cache so much. And I really I like to micromanage the deliveries a little bit, so I'm playing without deliveries, without auto deliveries.
That drives me nuts. The slot machine, gotta fix that. But so how did the concept come up for doing the game? I see Green Gemini asked over on YouTube. We're on YouTube, Twitch, and Steam. If you guys have questions, whether it's game related, politics, world news, whatever, we're up for talking about damn near anything. But so I actually live in Las Vegas. The name of the company is LV Game Dev, and that stands for Las Vegas Game Dev. I've never been great at naming things. Never claimed to have been great at it. Thus, why the games are called Sim Airport and SimCasino. Pretty descriptive. But yeah, living in Vegas, I thought that airports ended up not being not a great setting for a tycoon game. I've talked about this before, but it's a little bit, the life cycles of agents are too short. Casinos I thought would be fantastic because you can have a guy there all day and really like he can get drunk, he can do unique things. Yeah. I don't know how to say so on YouTube. Yes, can you release the 2D version? We're not good. No, it wasn't ready enough. It was pretty, I will say. We did it in a higher resolution. It's definitely attractive. But there's just nothing quite like 3D. Like just even with lower quality textures, the same game, and they're not lower quality, they're actually higher quality, but it just gives a totally different feel. You can do a whole hell of a lot more. Even just having thin walls gives you a lot more. Yeah, you can do quite a bit.
Yeah, thin walls took a while to get right, didn't it? But it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a thorn. There's issues with it. For instance, that's part of why you can't use the clone tool for zoning, or it doesn't copy zones. Some of those validations are a little bit tough. And yeah, Allo, you're spot on. It really is a great setting for a game like this. Like, you know, I always thought people were kind of wusses when they played games like The Sims or, you know, some of the old, especially the original Sims, when they played those games and they just like decorated and stuff. As we built this game further and further, I found myself acknowledging that maybe I'm just kind of a wuss, and I actually enjoy equally as much just making stuff look pretty. And that's not the extent of the game. I still enjoy the profit driven. When I played Prison Architect, I was far more profit driven, although I still wanted things to be patterned out and like perfect. But in this game, I find myself, I can literally play for 4 hours without even getting customers in and be quite entertained. I'm sure Michael and Joshua can attest to that. There have been days I'm supposed to be working on bugs and I sit there and I take screenshots for half the day. They're just so pretty. To be honest,
I was pretty good with that.
So, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. But will the people behavior improve? Food and plates, taking drinks? Yeah, so the behavior itself will improve. I think it's already improved drastically. Will they actually carry stuff around? I think so. We've started getting there with some stuff, like crates. We don't have the really small stuff, but one thing I was hell-bent on during development was I really wanted cards on the table. Without cards and chips on the table, it seemed boring and plain. It's amazing how far just getting cards and chips on the table takes it. That said, getting cards and chips on the table without adding like thousands of polygons is non-trivial. Ooh, you just used the move tool?
I used the second ago to move this door, but in this case I just moved the picker and used the picker.
Yeah, you guys like that? I wasn't feeling so hot yesterday. But I was like, damn it, so many people want this move tool. And I just kind of put my mind to it. I'm not sure if it was bug free. Did you have to fix anything, Michael?
I did fix a few things today, but it was just then small stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have lots of quality of life improvements like that coming. Guests in underwear. So I don't think that they're walking around naked anymore, but I know we fixed it once. I think I saw a report of it again. So it's possible we screwed up.
The main problem is it's weighted so that they should get dressed, but we'd have to work on basically forcing them to get dressed or something similar. We can never fully guarantee it without risking getting them stuck or something. But they certainly do the best to get dressed. I haven't seen it since.
I've got a fix for that. I've got a fix in mind, at least. Yeah, move tool. So that probably just went in the deploy today.
Yeah, it's in the deploy today, like half an hour or an hour ago.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that just went in.
By the way, since our casino isn't too big, we may play with some expensive floor reflections.
Really put his machine to the test today.
Well, I've got VSync on to every second V-blank. We only stream in 60 FPS anyways, so no need to render more frames.
Hey, Kevin, I live in Vegas. He says, don't get me wrong, my trip to Vegas did have me running down a hotel half naked, but that's not normal. You'd be surprised. There's quite a bit more things that go on in Vegas that are normal than you might expect. I have not played Sims 4 lately. Honestly, I have not played a game lately other than I've opened a couple of games to do research on like user interface stuff, but that's really about it. I did play some Madden. I'm almost embarrassed to say. I'm a big football fan.
Well, we both are.
Yeah, and we like opposing teams. And I apologize. I didn't have Twitch up until just now. I'm slow on the uptake. See, can't choose.
Green
You'll
just wrote.
notice.
Michael, what did you want to say?
I was just going to say, you'll notice when they're delivering the crates, we don't keep dropping them every time, so there should be a lot less like loot crates now. I did quite a few inventory improvements the last couple of days.
Also just in this deploy, right?
Yeah. So they're much quicker at stocking them now, and they don't like abandoned crates all over the place.
Yeah, it looked way faster too. Funny thing, Green just wrote, found my issue with the PC. He had some problems with his PC streaming, and apparently he didn't set his power settings. Tip for
And an
everyone.
old computer.
Tip for everyone.
I'll just. Sorry, I keep interrupting by accident.
Yeah, Greek just tip for everyone. Be sure to dust out your PC like once a year or something like that. The PCs don't like dust too much.
Over on Twitch, JHN Buzz, can we assign a hotkey for the move tool? You know, it's funny, I laid down last night, and this happens almost every night. I'm thinking about what I need to work on in the morning. And I was thinking, yeah, we need to make it hotkeyable. I'd like to see it work like Photoshop. I got to see if we have V bound to anything by default yet or not. But
V is the picker.
Is what?
The picker. The eyedropper.
It should really be move, at least if we're gonna follow conventions.
Well, Q should be the picker if we want to follow conventions, but that's currently by default the rotation of the camera.
Cool Ginger on Twitch. I noticed if you put down stairs before you build a foundation on the floor above, you can't build foundation in front of the stairs on the new floor. I believe the way that works is that it actually auto builds the foundation around it. So I think that you should be able to add on to it, but we'd have
No, that's
to.
just from Sim Airport.
Yeah, auto foundation is often casino.
So you're stuck if you build the stairs above and you can't
Currently,
close
I think
them?
the idea was if you wanted a roof level, you could just build stairs connecting to it without having to force like an additional level, because the last level can't have a foundation on it.
Huh.
Because the idea was people wanted to see the roof, but if that was the top level, they couldn't. So then we added like an extra like half floor, which didn't have foundation. But now people want to build on that, so it gradually gets taller and taller if we keep like changing it.
Well, we're gonna end up with much taller buildings anyway.
Yeah.
But right now, if you build the stairs first, there's no way to foundation
And
it.
but that should be pretty easy to add for like lower floors.
it's possible we
Yeah.
actually got that on our tracker, but it's marked as low priority or something.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that fixed. It's a bug. I will put it.
I just
in
meant
right
more
now.
for the very top floor, why we didn't add it in automatically.
Yeah, it's fine not to be automatic. It's just a bug if you build the stairs first, and if you can't encircle them, you basically have no choice but to demolish the stairs if it's the second floor of a 10-floor casino. Excuse me. I put it in there, meaning we should get to it pretty quick. I saw somebody on YouTube. This was a minute ago. I am frazzled too. I probably have a slight fever. Mentioned though that the slot machines. Maybe this was on Twitch. Somewhere that the slot machine settings are frustrating. Yeah, we're aware. I think it's probably the number one voted on in the roadmap, which we just released a week ago. I think it's got the number one number of votes. We made some changes to try to improve it, but I know feelings were a little mixed on those changes. We're aware we're going to make it a hell of a lot easier.
Well, it's currently too easy actually. Like getting with the limitations, getting perfect 9.99 or 19.99 house edge is literally just move the slider to the left and it's done.
Yeah, but I mean that's a whole. There's a lot to unravel there. The real thing is, you need to be able to group them, set up profiles, and be able to apply to different areas. There really shouldn't be an optimal number. In real casinos, they do floor layouts where they have they basically like separate which areas, like the nearest areas to the entrance will be what is it? They'll be some of the worst paying but the lowest value slots, basically pull people in. But there's a rhyme and a reason why they place stuff. There's like actually a ton of data on this if you go and look through like Google Scholar on, and there's a lot of patents on it too about simulating it, about placement of stuff within casinos. I mean, basically they hire psychologists to figure out what the optimals are. And that's essentially what we want to be simulating. So Passy on YouTube said, does the jackpot calculation really work? This is a good question because I swear I've seen stuff where in my casinos where the payout is way above the expected value. And I mean, I understand random distribution, that shit's gonna happen, but
I'm
Michael?
sure on Discord someone put that they did their own simulation of it, I think to come up with some UI thing. And during that they found that at first it did that, but if we ran it like 5,000 times, it eventually matched what it should do. So I think it really is just luck, because me and I know Josh has worked on it as well, on like the house edge and that, and getting the maths right.
Yeah, I remember getting the math to spit out right. It took some time. It is, yeah, it's something we probably should write some test code to just run it and test it. It's kind of like voting machines. That's the best way to test it. Put known values in and run it 1,000 times and see if you get known values back out.
Yeah. I guess to get those known values, you'd have to sort of backwards work it out first, and that's the tricky bit.
Well, that's the one part that is working fine.
Well, no, actually, it's not even that complicated, because you could just if you set the jackpot at whatever you set it at, and then you run 50,000 or 5 million simulations of it, you should know that exactly how many jackpots you expect on average, and you're going to be within a confidence interval.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't, if you run it enough times, you should be pretty damn close to the exact expected value. That is something we should test. Yeah, so that is something else Passy mentioned in YouTube. Agreed. One thing we'd like to do is have it be researchable, or even something. I saw a suggestion on the forum that I loved where, so I want to say the law in Nevada here is something like all the machines, the payout can only be, the worst payout can be, I think, 94%, something like that. And even that's, I think, relatively rare. I think you're usually seeing like 98% payouts. One suggestion in the forums I thought was pretty kick-ass, though, is we should basically have inspectors come and look and allow you to set odds that are illegal. And if you get caught, you pay a penalty. And yeah, and potentially the ability to even research or bribe the inspectors to not catch you. That's all stuff like I love. It's stuff that I think is much more viable in SimCasino than it was in Sim Airport. Dr. Peeper's Neighborhood, greetings from Fresno. Who's your favorite team from Twitch? I'm a Vikings fan. Could be pretty difficult sometimes being a Vikings fan. But I am. I had season tickets for a while. I lived right by the Metrodome for a long time. So I saw Brett Favre play and Adrian Peterson and those guys.
And I'm a Packers fan, so funky conversations always.
Yeah, I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan, believe it or not. Let's see. Dr. Peepers also asked about glass walls. You want to recreate Sam's Town. I've actually never been to Sam's Town. It's got kind of a notoriousness about it that I'm not sure I would go there. But I'll have to look up what their glass walls look like. There's there is some slight technical reason that glass walls might be tough, but it's definitely doable. Sam's Town has a bowling alley? I'm actually a big bowler. I did not know that Sam's Town had bowling alley. How did I not know that? The Vikings choke way before the Super Bowl.
What's the standing, by the way?
What's that?
What's the standing currently? What's the what the Vikings at?
I would think that we're probably second or third. Yeah.
It's probably Packers, Bears, Vikings, Lions. I think Bears are 5 something.
We're tied. We're tied with the Bears. We have them division though by. We're 3-1 division. They're 1-2.
By the way,
Yeah.
guys, which side is the front on the buffet?
So the left side is where the users, the customers use it.
I'm never too sure.
We should probably make those dots.
We had different colors in dev mode. I just think there were too many colors, so we probably want to reduce it down to 2 distinct. Because I think when there's like 4 or 5 dev ones, it makes sense to us, not to players. But I think 1 red for staff and 1 blue for guests, I think should work alright.
I agree. You want to put that in the issues list?
Can do.
Juma Mohammed, the Orleans. So I love playing at the Orleans. I play, although I like the Orleans because there's they keep them pretty well oiled. I enjoy Red Rock, and lately I've been playing at Santa Fe a good bit. Well, lately I haven't been playing really anywhere. Although I did take an in-law to play last weekend, and I put up a 211, not bad. So Comedy Club, excuse me. What about glass-like external surfaces? So the problem with glass is it has to be rendered. We have to be somewhat sparing with it. It has to be rendered a certain way. If you get it, a lot of lights hitting it, for instance, it's going to really slow things down. So somebody asked what the lag is. The lag you're seeing is probably due to floor reflections.
I'm having good FPS.
I'm seeing every now and then you get a. Also, part of it is the floor reflections. When you move, they lag by 1 frame. We need to fix that.
Oh yeah, never noticed.
Green Gemini asked you a good question. Is there going to be some kind of customization on when security can pick up monies from slots and tables? Right now, they have to wait until 50% full or more. But if you have a slot that holds 25K, you wait a while before you get that money.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that today. I guess, like a lot of tools, if you add the ability to change it per object, that's going to be a lot of micromanagement. But obviously, once we get like multi-select something in, then that'll be less of a problem. But trying to make like a global setting means that if someone sets it's like 10%, it's just going to flood your staff with too many tasks. So I think for now, until we get like a proper like multi-select tool or something to make that macro management easier, it's probably going to have to stick at 50% for now, because I think it's going to be too much to go up to every single machine and say, well, this one's got more in it, so I want it to be a bit lower. It could be added, I just don't know how like useful it'll be practically when you have to do it for like hundreds of machines.
Yeah, we keep coming back to this. We need a better settings profiles grouping thing. So Kevin Nedberg asks on YouTube, will there eventually down the road be a feature to play actual games in your casino? So we were just talking about this. I've mentioned it on the forum too, but since everything is already in 3D and I've got a VR headset and I mean, this is just straight selfish, but oh well, it's true. I feel like it would be a damn shame if at some point I'm not able to put my VR headset on and look around my casino. In theory, it's just allowing the camera to be there. So whether we get into being able to play the games, I'm not opposed to it, although it'd be a decent bit of work, and we're not going to do any microtransaction bullshit. So I don't know if you'll be able to play them. I do know that at some point, I'm not sure it'll ever be made public, but I definitely want to be able to be a customer and walk around, and I'd like for that to work with a VR headset.
I went ahead and disabled the flow reflection for the moment. Actually dropping frames from it. Well, not dropping frames, but...
Close.
Yeah. Oh, it's on the edge.
Imagine stealing from one of the machines while in VR and then having to run from the guards.
Yeah, I think it'd be freaking sweet. I also like it. Just it seems like it'd be so easy, and every time I say that, that probably means a 2-month thing. But oh yeah, on Twitch we have this set up as a sim airport. I think that there is a SimCasino fixed. And fixed. Devin O'Can on Twitch asked, is there a way to zone a slots area or table games area so you can centrally set the pricing and percentages? Not really. There is a button apply to all in zone. And I guess in theory you could probably use an arbitrary zone for that. It's on our radar. We need a multi-select, a way to do it. That just like works and is intuitive. It's super high on our list. Yeah, I would be shocked if you don't see some solution for it in the next week and a half or so, even. Dr. Peeper's Neighborhood. Yeah, I've got I had about a 181 average. I think the last league I played in, I was down to I think I was down to like, I don't know, 170 or something. I love bowling though. I'd like to see bowling in here at some point. Good question. Cool Ginger. When do people start trying to steal? I feel like I haven't seen any of that in my casino yet. You want to speak to that, Michael?
So basically, each guest has a different demographic. So obviously, there's like hotel lodges, business people, all that sort of stuff. But one of the other types is a criminal type. So basically, they'll just spawn when your casino reaches a certain size, also based on which map you're on, how many valuable things there are to steal, and they'll also, well, currently it's not. I had to disable it for another bug, but eventually want to get back to it and get it working so that they calculate like what's the safest route to get to something, steal from it. So basically, it's not like an angry guest can turn into a criminal, though that also wouldn't be impossible to add. But they'll basically spawn with that specific like trait.
JHN Buzz, what's with the betting window not getting emptied? Sounds like it could be a bug.
That was fixed today, or it should have been anyway, because I worked on that earlier. I know I got it working for like retail cash registers and basically anything but behind the scenes using what's called this vending machine class.
Green Gemini on YouTube. No, we actually never had multi-select in Sim Airport. There really wasn't a need for it. There weren't that many settings. We did have an apply to all, but there weren't very many retail. It just wasn't as common. Passy and Henrik and Aloe. Yes, thieves are in the game. What's the best way to stop these thieves? Lots of cameras and security doesn't seem to be enough. More patrols for guards, etc.
So it helps if the guards are on patrol near where the crimes are going to happen, and then they'll definitely chase them. And I think it was Chick who sent in screenshots of them getting caught, and I think he even saw in one video of them fighting with the guards. But having them on patrol near the slot machines, and I can't remember where else they steal from, but they'll steal from a few places. Then they'll be able to get to them quickly. I think we also discussed changing the way they get chased and that. But we haven't got around to that yet. But me and Arthur were talking about it.
Yeah. Part of it's a pathfinding problem. We were talking about a better way to do it. Be able to mass set hotel room pricing by floor and apply to all. So we're probably going to do something similar to what we did with what we're going to do with slot machines. Hotel pricing is like it's a pretty big problem domain. Basically, usually the prices are generally set based on desired occupancy rates. It's kind of like airline seat pricing. It's super elastic. I'd like to explore into that realm further. I think there's a lot of room for depth there without adding complexity. So yeah, you can count on there being more functionality coming in that regard for damn sure. Man, I swear I don't understand the reviews. I swear every time it's like the positive reviews don't make the percentage go up.
Wonder if you have to be up for a certain time or something.
Yeah, maybe it's just cash. I don't know. Yes, that's coming, Green. Green Gemini on YouTube. Any ability to add customization to min bets on tables, putting them in his own rate. Yeah, same thing. So minimum bets is definitely coming. That's like that's the only thing I look at when I go into a casino is what's the minimum bet if I'm gonna play a table game, which is pretty rare, but on the occasion that I do. Yeah. In terms of grouping them, same answer. It's pretty clear, like this is probably like the sixth time I talked about it already, that we need some way to apply settings to groups, group objects together so that you can treat them all the same way, whether that's a multi-select or I don't know. In my mind, it's probably a combination of like a grouping and multi-select. I think back to Photoshop, like group layers. Jim Turner. Is that the guy that hates on games? Who's that guy? Yeah, for what it's worth, we're always down to get people playing the game, streaming. We love watching people stream. Yeah, we're honestly just we're not great marketers. We focus on building the game. Like you've seen, we've had I think more patches have been released than there have been days since release. But yeah, if you know somebody, send them our way.
Oh yeah, by the way, I think we got it on the list. Sometimes stalls don't completely close again after usage.
I mean, that's more natural, isn't it?
No, that's a broken bathroom.
Really depends on whether or not the door has a spring in it.
I've never seen a bathroom that, at most it'll bounce and sit halfway. Never like that.
That's the point. If you.
So do we make it move more or less then?
Hey, if they were random, I could buy the feature. If they're all sitting like that, I do. I think it would look better random. Passy, you got some curious issues with scrolling when you get a 3D connection space mouse. Yeah, we need to look at this. I think we have a joystick access set to bound to scrolling or something. Can you put a issue in for that, Michael?
Yeah.
Well, don't give us too much credit yet, Green Gemini. There's plenty of shit we disregard. For instance, just above you, again, I can't say your name. I'm so sorry. If you tell me how to say it, I will try. But he asked on YouTube, any road support in the future? I can basically say emphatically, and hell no. Roads are a bucket of worms. That's part of why we did SimCasino 2 is no roads. They're really, really tough to get right. Will windows and types of lights be able to set the mood in the room? I believe that both of them do improve environment. Am I lying?
For a decor object, I know windows count as environment effect or window effect. There was a bug before where window effect wasn't calculated, but I'm sure we fixed that.
Okay, so they should.
Yeah.
Mod Air asks, elevator for 2-level high rooms. We just got the model for this the other day. We will be able to have elevators on 2 floors, on 2-story areas without them having to stop at the 2nd floor and have people fall out. Jan R. This is a new one. Tal. Okay. Is that right? Tal? T-A-L? Tal said Sim Airport has roads and car parks. Yeah, that's part of why we don't want to do roads in SimCasino. The problem with roads is pathfinding. You have to either do fully cooperative pathfinding to get optimal routes, or you have to run pathfinding a lot and basically just spam pathfinding in order to get cars that are smart enough to navigate around stuff. Even so, City Skyline's a great example of a game where even the base game, I think, kind of sucks at traffic for the most part. You end up needing to add mods to have great traffic mechanics. And my understanding, at least, was that most of those mods that do it really well, the performance is not all that great. Honestly, it's just part of road graphs is tough. Allos, yeah, some kind of express system. So I don't know if this was even, I'm sure it made it patch notes. One day I was messing with elevators. I added default floor to them. I was actually at the same time I was looking to see how hard it would be to have it be able to skip floors and communicate that back to pathfinding. It's definitely doable. I'd be shocked if it doesn't come at some point. I'd like to see more depth in elevators to begin with. I played Sim Tower when I made a long time ago. And that was like a large part of what Sim Tower was managing your elevators. It's somewhere that I see a lot of potential for added depth with low complexity.
It's a very black and white casino.
Well, there's some color.
I think yellow might go well with a black and white as well.
Yellow for what? Blue?
Possibly, yeah. I think red and yellow would go quite well. Or maybe even some like yellow decor, and then keep with the like red flooring.
T1A2L. Gotcha. I know exactly who you are. Are they not? They're not balanced again. I thought they were improved. They may not be balanced against stairs now. Project High Rise, I've watched footage of. Restaurant Empire. Is that a new one? I've played some old restaurant games they were actually like rebranded into different. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. This game came out in 2003. I have played this at one point in my life. There was actually a couple of games before it that were pretty darn similar, and I think that they were, yeah, just looking through screenshots here. A High Rise, so Project High Rise, I don't know. I don't want to talk down about games. I'm not a big fan of its mechanics versus Sim Tower. I actually thought Sim Tower was damn near a perfect game. The biggest negative about it was there was a bug that would occur after maybe 40, 50, 60 hours of gameplay, and you'd have to run a command line utility on your save to fix rents. Yeah, I actually thought Project High Rise is a little bit less in depth, was my take just from watching. City Skylines 2. I don't know. I hate to speak poorly of games. I'm not the biggest fan of how their business model. But it's hard to fault them. It clearly works. People are, I was talking to our Steam rep, and he was trying to get me in on the DLC train a little bit. This was a couple of years ago, and he's like, go look at some reviews for the City Skylines DLC. He's like, yeah, there's some that it's really poor, and there's some reviews that are great where people really get value for the money. I just don't like DLC. Literally my most fond memories as a kid are like going to the store and looking at the boxes of Tycoon games and turning them around, reading them.
We need to make a box.
A box, yeah.
Oh.
That would make me happy. I really want shirts too. I would like a shirt. I've been saying that for like 3 years too.
Guys, it's time for math. 27. Does that divide into anything?
9.
Let's divide into 9. 3 times.
I'm just taking out my phone for the calculator. I'm too stupid for that.
9 times 3.
Yeah, perfect. I can,
and Josh is our math guru.
dude. I can cope with math, but calculating something manually, no, just don't don't even try. I hate it.
Yeah, so I see DLC as I don't know. I've spoken at length about this. I'm not going to beat dead horse. I get it too. Like it's the way to keep money coming so you can keep working on stuff. Although this day and age, I mean, part of what I see is that's part of what early access is. What I don't like seeing is these AAA games with big money behind them. They release games that are basically early access. They charge $60 for them, and then 2 weeks later they release, $18 DLC, where they have. I mean, Madden is the prime freaking example of this, where they've basically stopped working on the game itself. Every single loading screen, every screen in every part of Madden is about their ultimate team, where you can buy booster packs. It's like Pokemon. And I mean, it's basically slot machines in a sports game. And I think you could buy the Madden Founders Edition for $180 and get extra booster packs. I don't know. T182 Sims 4 have better building mechanics and tools in this game. I would kind of hope so. I think that they probably had a little bit bigger budget than we did.
He also had 4 games to perfect it.
Yeah, they were able to.
A little more than 4 even. You have
Yeah.
to consider all the maxes, build stuff.
They had all kinds of. Although they did do some cool stuff with lighting. But the reality is they probably had 300 people working on that game. And they charged, I think it was $60.
Isn't it $30 per expansion?
Yeah, about roughly.
Yeah, at least originally. I'm sure it's lower now, but yeah, it was. I actually bought the first The Sims in a box, and I believe either the second or the expansion pack. Passy, you're very welcome. There is no better feeling. I've done a lot of different things in my career. There's no better feeling than making a game that people actually like spend time playing and enjoying. It's freaking great. We appreciate you guys. There's nothing better than my wife talking to her friend. They're like, "What do you do?" And I get to be like, "I make video games." People they're like, "Oh, with DLC?" I'm like, "No, games that people pay for once they actually like the game. Like, it's freaking awesome." Thank you.
That reminds me, when I told the bank I was working on a casino game, but I was like, "Oh, so it's full of microtransactions, it's gambling, we'll have to do this." Like, no, it's just a game. But it took a while to persuade them that it wasn't like some sort of gambling product.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get the heads around that it was a game about casinos.
Yeah, even, I had early on in the process that came up a few times where people were a little worried that it was a gambling related game. And meanwhile, you've got Madden 2021 is a slot machine, literally. Like, it's a slot machine aimed at 8-year-olds or 18-year-olds that want to buy Pokemon booster packs with football players. I don't know. I will shut up. Where are you guys from? Tobias asked on YouTube. So Arthur, I am from Las Vegas, LV Game Dev, Las Vegas Game Dev. Josh and Michael?
Michael, you go first.
I'm from Hull in Yorkshire.
And I'm from Germany. And if you want to know more specifically, from Hildesheim.
And then we've got so our artist, his name is also Arthur. He's fantastic. He is from Brazil.
He did pretty much all the 3D models, didn't he?
Yeah, I think everything.
Except some of the wild stuff.
And even that
yeah,
at this
pretty
point.
much everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really talented. Yeah, Tal, I know EA did get backlash. Well, they get backlash from Madden too. But because they own the monopoly on football, no one else can build a game. So if you want to play with updated rosters, your choices are nil. I bought every single Madden game from 1992 until I believe 2018, I think was the first year I didn't buy it because we had just released Sim Airport. I didn't buy it. I actually bought it this year. It was on sale just a week ago for $30. I was like, I need to do something. And really it was mostly to see if I could kick the ass of my in-laws boyfriend. And I was capable. 3 guys come to a bar. That's right.
Don't forget,
Yeah, but
just move objects.
Hmm?
I just noticed you destroying the toilet and then moving it again.
yeah, we got to hotkey it. Could somebody put that in there for an issue? I really would like it to be V though, but I should be eyedropper. That's what it is in. So Photoshop, let's just guess that Photoshop has some pretty good UI UX guys working on these problems for like many years, right? And let's just guess that.
We'll assume we've had 5 minutes.
So in Photoshop, the eyedropper is the I key. It has been for at least 10 or 15, 20 years. I'm going to say that that's probably a good choice for key command.
No,
V is move.
I is way too far away from the... I mean, I've got the camera.
I'm just saying.
You have your
I don't
hand
know.
like this when you play on the WASD.
I'm just telling you, these guys that make Photoshop,
Let's not look into a random program that barely any player uses, and let's look into a game that most players know, like Factorio. And in Factorio, it's Q. Change my mind, it should be Q.
Tal, can we have a balcony zone? You actually don't even need to zone it. This works now. You can just make a balcony and not zone it.
Well, it depends on what balcony. For hotel. Yeah, for hotel rooms, this works. That's why I'm playing it currently.
Yeah,
So
that's going to work just fine.
I put something here, like to sit down on something similar, and they should go out.
It used to be that you couldn't use a private door next to it, but now it doesn't matter. You can use a private door for the bathroom as well, and it'll just work.
I do want to make shirts. Sorry, I'm reading through Twitch and just spouting off.
I like the colours of bedroom.
Yeah, yellow and somewhat red-ish, light red.
Yeah, so if Factorio's Q, then why? I don't understand. I know it's Q because he made it Q in
Sim Airport.
Sim Airport. So why can't V be move?
Because Q
And why
and V is
can't-
to rotate the camera.
So why can't V be move and I be eyedropper? That sounds so smart.
Because I is way too far away from the WASD.
So are you telling me the whole right side of the keyboard is off limits?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Wow, fellas. Wow.
Even Minecraft moved the inventory key from I to E. Because I is just too far away.
I guess in that game you don't really need to rotate the camera because it's first person.
Yeah. To be fair,
But here we need it a lot.
And so what do you guys are using page up and page down? I use the left bracket and right bracket to go up and down a floor.
Do you even know where the left bracket and right bracket are on the German keyboard?
You have to use them. That's how you go left and right between tabs in a browser. Control Shift.
I didn't
left.
even know that. I just click on the tabs.
No wonder you guys are so slow.
Slow up. What?
Also, by the way, the key to lower and higher the walls is the best in German. It's the smaller than key.
It's the backslash.
No, it's smaller than.
Well, for me, it's backslash. Yeah, but I don't.
He's in the same position for me.
I use these keys are right next to each other. I'm like out of slack.
To be fair, I think Mike and I talked about it, or at least wrote about it. For translation purposes, the possibility to have the default mapping of key codes be linked to a language.
Yeah. I think you did that for Sim Airport, didn't you?
Nope. We never did that for SimApp. But we could technically implement it for both.
Okay, so these keys, man, out of slack. These keys right here, and then this key gets rid of the walls. These two keys are up and down one floor, so your hand's already over there. You should never be on the mouse. I'm gonna have to teach you guys.
How do you click?
What clicking are you doing?
A lot.
So you tell me in your file editor you don't left and right between two files with their keys? You click?
Nah. Well, that's because
goodness.
mice on Windows are actually good.
You should see the mouse I'm using. It's terrible. It's a wired mouse. I use a trackpad outside. I actually like the trackpad. I get less hand cramps. But
The vertical mouse is really nice to use.
yeah, I've heard that. I've heard shoulder problems with it though. I know a guy that uses it. He also used a trackball though too.
By the way, the issue is for SimCasino, you really have to use in SimCasino. We are talking about SimCasino still, not some random program. And in SimCasino, and likewise for most games, with FPS or even ETS, Euro Truck or American Truck Sim, you usually use the mouse to look around, and for example, I use it to rotate, and then use the WSD to move. So I wouldn't need the Q and E keys, for example. I never use those. I just use the mouse.
Well, and that's why 2 years ago we put in the key bindings menu.
Yeah.
And so you can make it be whatever. I think for all us normal people, we should put V be the move. I think I should be eyedropper. And I think we should just call it a day. And we can even have a little profile in there for the other devs and the smart devs. You guys can just switch between which profile you want.
I think.
How's it?
No, never mind. I know one of them's missing on there, but I thought it was Hide UI. I thought it was quite ironic that Hide UI was missing, but it's actually a different one.
No, it's the wall key.
Okay, I saw a couple of questions here. Walls to separate balconies from each other. This should already work. This should be fixed. Tactical Gaming, when's the next update coming? It came out about 3 hours ago. Ivan Geyer on YouTube. What language and engine did you use to develop the game? The game is written in C# and uses Unity engine, which is a love-hate relationship. If you go look me up on the Unity forums. What's that?
I like how you said hate first.
Yeah.
People normally say love hate, and you went hate. Space.
Hate, love.
Love hate.
If you go look on the Unity forums, I am not the most thrilled at Unity. We basically use Unity as a UI development program and as a rendering pipeline. We render everything with code. It's almost a little frustrating. No, it's beyond frustrating. Let's see. That same gentleman above asks, we want more slot machines. So do you want more slot machine games or cabinets? Probably more games. Probably both. I mean, that's an easy answer, right?
What else could you put
The only real limit is video memory for the number of videos we had.
But there's... Well, so one thing is we want to be able to have modded videos in here. We want you to be able to put modded, basically, video on the TV and the slot games. So we need to make it be able to take somewhat arbitrary length. Beyond that, it costs, they're kind of expensive to have done. They're not working completely right now, but there's actually a win screen, a lose screen, a spin screen, an idle screen, and frames for all of those. And then we use the GPU to actually do the animation. It's pretty optimized. I do want to get more games in there. The lady that did the games, I have to look for her name. She's very good though. I think she's out of Ukraine. We could probably. What's her?
Svetlana Shirokova.
Yeah, that's right.
We got
mostly music credits, I think.
What was that?
I think most of the credits are music.
About the same.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two. Green Gemini said, can you take a look at the cache management? He's got a bug. I think that's a known bug. It's probably a really easy fix, too. We're probably updating it every second. If you're on highest speed, I think is where it's...
Yeah, I think in a busy casino when there's lots of transactions coming in, then it really not slows down, it gets caught up.
It's refreshing it, and so you're missing the raycast, basically, because the image is being enabled, disabled, same frame. Okay, so yeah, we're aware of the bug. We even know what it is. We got to take a look at the best way to fix it. Tobias Dilka says, by the way, the titles in the hotkey menu are wrong, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Someone noted that while translating, and I forgot to put it on GitHub. One of you two guys can put it on GitHub now.
Yeah.
The game function and keyboard key are switched around on the UI.
Okay, yeah. Tal, so hear more people sounds, yeah, we are well aware that they absolutely suck ass right now. There are people sounds in, we've got them toned way down because there's no balance. If you put 70 slots in next to each other, you will end up with this roaring din, just a terrible sound. It's on our list to get it fixed. We want to get crowd audio fixed. We want to get slots sounding better. and then we need to do per object audio. We actually started on. I started on the crowd part, but it needs a little bit more work still, and then the slap part needs more work, and then the individual sounds are much easier. We just got to source them.
By the way, one thing missing on the eyedropper is the ability to drop or pick zones.
Yeah.
I'll add that as well.
And one thing I think... Oh, never mind, it's fine. I think I noted that on our side. Currently, balconies or patios, any outside area of a hotel room doesn't actually give extra value.
Somebody fire alarm going off?
Something for sure.
Ah, there is here. I couldn't hear because my headphones are noise cancelling.
I thought for a second, I'm like, huh, my wife burning the house down? I didn't think I've been playing that long.
If I don't keep talking after 10 minutes, just assume the worst.
JH and Buzz. Yeah, all the hotkeys are rebindable. Making single doors rotatable. Double door opening outward look. Not anytime soon. It's surprisingly a pain in the ass. More bars are coming. That's maybe my number one annoyance right now is there's like no. You can't customize that at all. I think I just saw a G502.
For the
I don't know
mouse.
I don't know what this mouse is actually. I used to use the Logitech MX Mass or the MX for many years. I actually have maybe 10 of them. MX Master Pro 2 or whatever. I loved the grip of it. I started getting lag with them on my Macs. And yeah, I kind of just gave up on them. I used to have to buy one every like 8 months too because I get gunky in the keys.
I think I can hear my neighbours shouting, "It's on fire." Genuine.
Are you serious?
I might be back in a minute.
Usually Arthur's the one taking a cigarette.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be my cue, right? The back wall bug. Thank you very much, Henrik. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's not gonna be overnight perfect, but T1 or Tal, how long do you think? So we've got on the store page about an hour, about 1 hour in early access, and then we're done. That's it. 1 hour. You guys hurry. No, sorry, about a year. I think that's what we said originally with Sim Airport too, though, and I think it was 3 years.
About 3. A little bit less, I think.
I would guess though that we released this in a much better state than Sim Airport was when we released. It took about a year to get Sim Airport stable. We're what, 2 weeks since we released? 3 weeks?
Tomorrow, 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks, and the game is already 1 to 2. No, today will be third week. Sorry,
Sure.
Tomorrow will be third week. The game is already quite stable. It's got some quirks still. We'll get those sorted pretty quick though, but we're pretty ready to get new stuff added. Like we already have some new objects that are ready to be added. We want to do like swimming pools. We've got a lot of the swimming pool objects ready. We just got to write like implementation code for the pools and animations, all that shit. Who knows, but probably a year. Definitely more than an hour, though. Green Gemini, take it easy. Always great having you here, sir. Thank you very much. Cool Ginger says the smartest. I don't know. I am a keyboard junkie. I guarantee that I could do any keyboard task faster than these two. But I will say they have learned quite well. They are good young Padawans, young Jedi Masters in training. What's that?
The neighbour's tumble dryer caught fire, and the fire brigade are currently putting it out.
Like, you see flames?
I only saw smoke coming out the window.
Is this a common occurrence?
Oh, no. First time.
That's pretty exciting.
Shame I have to live stream.
Yeah, I want to go see it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely add stuff on Steam. Yeah, swimming pools. We're gonna do some kind of outdoor resort stuff. QCS, I assume the worst. She's teleshopping. I shit you not. She must have been awake for like, I don't even know, maybe 40 minutes. I thought she was in the bathroom. I came outside, started looking at the forum, and I see an alert come through. She had spent money on Target.com, and I'm like, they're not even open yet. It's 5:45, and she's already managed to spend $100 on Target. Like, what the heck? I hadn't even had a coffee yet. Can you overhang second floor? Not yet, but we're going to allow it. We're taking the position that physics is meh. We want shit to look cool. Henrik, yeah, poker tournaments. We've got that on the roadmap along with like progressive jackpots, something we want to do. Honestly, every time I walk through a casino here, which is not that often, but it happened to be last weekend, like I just look around at all this shit. And I mean, there's so many little things like the progressives, the loyalty programs, the advertising, that kind of stuff. Instead of road support, can we have a drive through road objects? So that is one thing we might entertain, is even like loading dock, something like that, where you could have the trash truck pull in. That would be doable, wouldn't add a bunch of performance. Like, that's the one thing we want to keep this all performing good. It performs, in my opinion, shockingly well if you have a good machine, given that everything is 3D. We want to keep that, though, for damn sure. All right, I'm going to step out for my cigarette break, see if I can't get something lit on fire.
Can't believe it happened. Well, at least it wasn't me.
Hey, Michael did tell us that he's warming up to the on-screen. It took some convincing to get him here in audio alone. So just a few, I think within the next 1 to 2 more streams, I think we probably will get him visible. He even bought a damn green screen.
Pile of ashes.
Yeah. And they still got the alarms going off too. He did buy a green screen though, and a mic and everything, so he's capable. I've seen it. Yeah, you should put some of the statues up too. I think people don't notice the statues. There's freaking many.
In general, you can change most of these stuff is just the base. Change a lot.
Yeah, we should probably default it to that screen.
Probably. Most people never see it. Or
Yeah, there's
Take some
there's
time
like
to realize it.
400 statues in there.
I think in the end we did about 150, 200, something like that, but there's still a lot.
Like, yeah, quite a shitload. I was looking through it the other day, taking screenshots. I probably spent 20 minutes picking out the right statues and coloring them. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. As always, if you guys have questions for us, shoot. If we've missed your question, we're sorry. We're probably just bantering. Yeah, it's fireside chat if you want to hear our opinion on whatever. Life.
Fireside.
Yeah, fireside chat. Just let us know. I shall return in just a few moments and let these two smart cats keep you guys entertained.
So I can hear some sort of machinery outside. I don't know what that is.
Oh, no. You can't really see Arthur's chair. It's still gonna be share stream for him. Well, it's probably the fire truck. Sounds like a fire truck, or the pump of it.
Yeah. You can probably hear it better than me because I got my headphones on.
It's rather quiet, but you can hear it. Oh, Tal is going out. Good night, Tal.
I'm just concerned a bit about the smell.
Should be fine. The biggest issue with fire is usually only the smoke. But if you don't have any smoke in your room, that's fine. And don't really want to get any plastic from something that burned. I'm a bit on the quiet side. And probably fix that. I put myself up a little more, a little more. Should be louder now. And you guys say you don't hear a lot from the game. And put that up too. Michael, they want to hear a
Hello.
joke. Specifically, Twitch chat wants to hear a joke.
A jerk?
Yep.
Don't know if I can think of one. I think the smell's getting quite strong. I might not make it to the end.
Will there be AI events in the future, whether drunk or brawls, or AI pass out?
We have plans for them passing out,
Yeah,
and I think we're going to add drunk actions at some point.
Specifically talked about passing out a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Did someone just go into the stairs?
Into the stairs. It's just the same issue. Actually, I think the point may be off because they went more than one frame. Will there be a staff room? That's a good question. Currently, all the staff is usually just staying outside in the garbage and deliveries.
The problem is if you give staff needs, then you'll have to schedule breaks for them, and then you'll need extra staff to cover those breaks, and then you'll probably need to micromanage all of that and make sure, because they could leave automatically for breaks, but then they might abandon posts that you really need them to not abandon, so it just adds a lot of complexity that might not make it more fun. That's always a balance, really, of adding too much micromanagement and then accidentally going too far. But yeah, right now they don't really have a need, so they don't really need breaks.
Yep. Good question, by the way. You can move the deliveries and garbage inside, I guess.
I mean, if you had some chairs, you can make it look like a staff room. They can put chairs outside.
But you can put the deliveries inside too, right?
I can't remember about deliveries, that might have to be outside.
Oh.
Because of the truck access.
Love it when I build something and the agents are running into it.
I like the outdoor area you're doing.
I'm just trying to do some decor. Adding some plan. And definitely splitting it up. Dr. Peepers just wrote see on Twitch. See, the garbage and delivery should be hidden in an alley, out of the sight of customers.
You can always move them further down.
Yeah. They currently don't hit environment, right? Nope. One option would be to actually make them hurt environment.
Yeah, and their staff doors do.
So there would be an actual benefit of moving them.
Cool, ginger. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to see too. Like a delivery object, not even his own. JH and Buzz, forced. We can weight them. We can't force them. If that's their better path, they always will. We could weight it better.
What was the question?
He'd like for the staff to use the staff door when entering and exiting. He doesn't want to see him using the customer door. It makes sense too. In real casinos, you generally won't see staff using the front door unless they're like an executive or a valet guy or something like that. You're only going to see. You're never going to see a janitor use the front door.
I will answer to that in a second, but Ruriki just asked how big is the area. So you can have multiple casinos, not just this one, but this one is all of this size. All of this is buildable. And then I think the starter casino has 2 floors. No, but it has 3 plus a roof level. But there's bigger plots and plots which can have more floors. Regarding the staff not going through normal doors, could just add some extra cost to normal doors on the TDH, I guess.
Yeah, the key is it has to be done on the subsector level.
Yeah, that's why I mean on the TDH.
Yeah, it's touchy. It's the same thing where if you start weighting stuff too much, you end up with full expansions because, yeah.
Indeed.
No fence there, though.
I don't know if there's a way you can share screenshots on your like video stream, because I sent one earlier with like an earlier version of the 2D game.
I can actually do that if you give me a second.
Yeah, clock in and clock out. So it's funny you mentioned that. That's actually one of the objects that was in the 2D version. And I'm not exactly sure. I guess we just kind of forgot it, or
do you want me to show the screenshot you sent over in our
yeah.
chat? 1 second. OBS.
FinFuzz, will there be visitors coming on foot to the casino? Yeah, the original that's in the original plans was some plots should have, and they do some plots. There's different variables for each plot, like what type of gambler you get, or if you get business or lodging.
This is the screenshot, by the way.
That is something that we want to add. So this is a very early version of SimCasino. Here
you can see
this
a
is
hand-drawn
2D.
ticket machine.
Hand-drawn ticket machine, which one?
On the left near one of the tables.
Oh, I see it.
Huh.
Well, it's developer art.
Well, no, some of that is real art.
Oh.
Much of that is actually real art. That's the only dev art I see, really. And some casino walls and stuff. Yeah, we can get them to prefer staff elevators too. The elevator, it's tricky. So you want them to take the best path possible. And as soon as you want them to take a path that's suboptimal, technically speaking, you end up causing pathfinding problems.
There is a multi-delete tool, by the way.
Yeah, I can never find it.
It's just on the toolbar.
One of those 15.
Oh, remove from objects.
I'm not sure. Michael, can cashiers get robbed from the backside?
Currently no, but it wouldn't be too tricky to add it. I think I just did it to like vault zones just for simplicity. But technically could just give them the same, like a similar task that the staff get to unload them. And then all doors have a different strength level and they can be like sort of keyed into, and then they'll need maintenance as they go through them.
Ricky WSF, yeah, you're right. That is, Josh is still learning how casinos work, so he's perhaps not the optimal casino he's put together here. But he said over on Twitch, slot machines would be the first thing in the door. Casinos want you to walk through the casino to get to other points. More of a chance for you to spend your money in your way. That's true. Most of the time, you'll see like movie theaters or bowling or theaters are going to be towards the back, the furthest point in.
By the way,
just like grocery stores.
Same reason why the duty-free stores in airports are basically the first thing after security. X tab. There you go. So I haven't actually had a lot of time to really play SimCasino. I've helped for some time, but basically since I'm working on some airport or working on any game really, I don't really play it that much anymore. So you don't really get the time to play the game you make. It just doesn't happen anymore. So yeah, also that's why I'm a bit rusty on the controls.
Is this SimCasino I'm looking at?
Peter Whitman on YouTube. Will it be possible to adjust the hotel room price at once? We're going to try to make it slower and harder so that you actually have to set each room 3 times before it takes. That's one of the things we've been talking about. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's the number one request is be able to like multi-set rooms, multi-set slot machines, multi-set a lot of shit. We're gonna make it easier. I expect that we'll probably have a solution for that semi-soon. We could make it harder, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that would make the game more fun. Yeah. I think that we definitely will find a solution. Yeah, TX boy Casey on YouTube. Yeah, one casino he went to was like that. Everything along the gaming floor, so you have to walk past all the slots, tables. Yeah, almost every casino here in Vegas is like that. Even the locals casinos, like to get to the food court area, you'll have to walk by basically the entire floor and past all sorts of slots. And one day I actually went out to a casino near me, and I took a bunch of video, a bunch of pictures for our artists to kind of give them an idea. Also, even for sound, which we'll be working on soon, the sound. But it's interesting. You walk by the slots; they have like motion detectors, and they'll like beep at you, or some of them. One of them I walked by, and this lady comes up on screen, and she's like, "Hey there, stop! Why don't you come play me?" Like, they've got these idle animations. We want to get some more of that going on. All of our slot games do have idle animations. We're probably not triggering them as ideally as we can. That's something that we're gonna. So this game is cool in that it's a little more micro than Sim Airport. Sim Airport was about, you wanted to move like 30,000 plus agents through your airport every day. You couldn't really do a whole lot of fun stuff with like two of them, because you're never going to notice 2 out of the 30 plus thousand. In this game, I think we can do a little bit more of that. Where you've got drunk guys. Somebody asked, does alcohol make them spend more? I don't know if we have that implemented yet, but that is the intent. The intent is alcohol makes them want to fight more, yeah, I mean, I want to see you guys land on the floor sleeping. Aloe, I got some very strange looks when I was taking pictures. I tried very, very hard not to take pictures of anyone's face. But on multiple occasions, I got some double takes from staff, and I just paced to the other side of the casino floor and continued what I was doing. One of the things that I was asked to take a lot of pictures of that day was the backs of slot machines, because our 3D artist Arthur P was like, you could find all kinds of pictures of slots, the fronts, but you never see the backs in like screenshots online or photos online. And so it was kind of hilarious. I'm like climbing back behind slot machines. I probably look like a thief, but I'm climbing back there with my phone, taking video and picture, trying to show them what the back of a slot machine looks like.
Probably just look like a very obsessed hobby person.
Yeah. I've got a buddy of mine out here that he's a blogger about advantage gaming. He finds games that has a slight edge once he adds all the promos in and stuff. He does very similar. Like he'll go to casinos and take pictures and do all kinds of stuff. When they were about to blow up the Riviera casino, my wife and I went, and it was an interesting day. My wife and I were in the elevator, and there was actually an earthquake while we were in the elevator, which is rare for Vegas to begin with. But the Riviera was so cool. They were about to blow it up, and you could walk through every room. Every door was open, even like the security areas. I actually found in the offices area a big packet of all their revenue, it was like every blackjack table, how much they had made per hour for the past year. It was probably a 5-pound packet of paper. But it was so eerie. You're walking through this hotel, and literally you could just like pull off like a faucet off the wall and take it downstairs and ask them how much they wanted for it. So like it was just eerie. You're walking through this abandoned. We went to like the penthouses they were in. I think they were featured in a Bond film. Yeah. And we bought a few things there too. Take some pictures. Juma Muhammad. I'm sure I butchered that. Sorry. What's your thoughts on the framework of the new game releasing 2021 Hotel Magnate? I don't know how to say it. I spoke with their publisher. I know they're working hard on it. Wish them all the luck. Like, making games is hard. It's like it's not the easiest way to make money. I'm sure that there are days my wife wish I just went and worked for Netflix or Google or something and collected a paycheck. So I wish them all the best. I think their game looks pretty sexy. I know they've got a fairly young, inexperienced team, but everything I've seen looks pretty solid. I haven't heard a whole lot of negative feedback aside from their price. I think they're charging a lot for like early beta access or something. But similar to when we're working on Juma. Not bad. I was close. Similar to when we were working on Sim Airport, and people would ask us that about Airport CEO. I always wished them luck. I still do. I think they started out really rough, and I've kind of made up for it recently. I think it's probably a great game. I've never played it.
Arthur?
Yeah.
A quick bug note. If you move a statue, they lose the custom object.
That means that somebody broke the copy-paste code that I wrote.
That wasn't working already, and I fixed it, and then it must have left out statues.
Okay. Can you issue that?
Yeah. But I think your code skipped out colors, so I fixed that, and then it must have left out statues as well.
I wrote a custom method for the copy-paste stuff because I wanted a static to be able to just apply the settings.
Yeah, it works for the clone tool, but when you're using the object tool, it overrides it. So I made it use the objects code instead.
I want a static method that I can use to copy settings. Like, I want to be able to pass in old and new.
But what I'm saying is, if you have the object menu open, it will override it. So I had to make it go through the build menu.
I got you. I see what you mean.
Whereas a clone tool never touches the build menu, so you can just have it do it once.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, to quickly summarize what I was saying, Juma, we wish all game devs luck. Like, I may not always agree with their decisions or anything, but everybody's trying to make good games. I mean, I'm sure that there are some examples of publishers that are, in fact, I could call a few out, that are just spitting out games for cash grabs. But I think the vast majority of indie devs are trying to make really cool gameplay experiences and do unique things. So we wish them luck. It's a game that I'll certainly at least watch footage of.
You just said indie devs, but you also said that the Hotel Magnate team has a publisher?
They do. It's Critivo, which is they're pretty I've spoken with the owner, Critivo, a few times. They're pretty small. I've used publisher in the loosest sense of the word. For instance, Academia Game is by Squeaky Wheel. They've also dabbled in being a publisher. They've invested a little bit in a couple of games. These days, the bar for being a publisher is fairly low. Hotel Magnet, for instance, that they did a crowdfunding on Kickstarter, despite having a publisher. I actually think the publisher in their case, I'm not sure. My understanding though was that the publisher's mostly doing their marketing. I don't know if they're funding it at all. Maybe there are some. I'll also say they do a very good job at marketing. VWFA, putting lights in. Yeah, lights do improve environment score, which increases happiness. Also makes it look damn sexy. If that's not reason enough for you, though, it does impact the environment score. Henrik, love design depth already. Please continue adding even more depth economic-wise and visual too. For all the games in the casino, has potential to be an earth-breaking game. Yeah, I appreciate that. We all do. We're going to be adding more. We've got some. I think I uploaded this to the Steam artwork area for SimCasino. Somebody had sent in and suggested like electronic blackjack or roulette or something. I forget exactly what it was, but we've already got our artist did some, a pretty sweet looking electronic roulette. I didn't upload. That's the only one I uploaded, but we're definitely going to be adding more. We've got a number of objects not even added in yet. Slot tournaments, something would definitely like to see added, or some kind of progressive type thing tied in with Loyalty Club. Responding to Ricky WSF on Twitch. Double high floors, you can do that, yes. Will you be able to create a pit? Probably not in the truest sense of the word, due to rendering. We'll call them shenanigans. If anything, we could do it like a raised floor easier than that, which I guess you could call a pit everything that's not a raised floor. It's not the easiest thing to do, though. Henrik, yeah. So I will say with depth, Henrik on YouTube says, depth is the way to be different. I know it's hard work. We'll never forget the game if you continue this way. So one thing I want to be real careful on, and not everybody will love hearing this probably, but I think that in some ways with Sim Airport, for one, airports suck because you need like every single process, and there's like 20 of them. They all have to be working or the airport's broken, just flat out freaking broken. The cool thing about casinos, you don't need everything to be working flawlessly to have it still be functional. That said, I want to be cautious with depth. I don't want to confuse depth for complexity. And I think in SimCasino, in some cases, we did. And I think in most cases, it made a better gameplay experience for people that have 40 plus hours in it. I want to make sure that SimCasino is accessible, though, for players that want to have a relaxing play style too. Exactly. Daniel Robinson. When I go on inventory and transport, I can only change garbage trucks. Do you know why?
Auto delivery. So when auto delivery is on, it will deal with all that for you. And then if it's off, it'll give you the option to set the number of crates with that. I think we might be able to show it on here.
I've got it off,
Right.
so you can actually. I actually like micromanaging all that stuff, so I usually have it off.
Pro Parker on YouTube, basements and tunnels. We may do basements. We kind of get to a time crunch where it generally should just work. There's some gotchas with rendering and like how to know when to render indoors and outdoors. Yeah, I know it's been requested. We'll probably end up with basements at some point. Part of me, though, thinks, in all honesty, that we'd be better off just not doing them and just letting you build higher. For the amount of time input it would take, but yeah. Marine.
It's very easy for us to add floors on top. I know some people have been hacking the files already. So just increasing the number of levels in a later patch once we get performance better will be quite straightforward.
Yeah. Whereas adding underground requires rendering changes because you're not just showing a roof. You actually have to hide what's above. Basically, it's the exact opposite logic of when you're going up. Old school slot machine, like hit the arm. So all the old school slot machines that I'm aware of that exist now, they don't actually never spit out coins anymore. There might be one or two exceptions in all of Las Vegas where like they're kept around for nostalgia. And literally like one or two machines, but even the ones where you do pull the arm, they're all digital now too, but they do have wheels. But they're spitting out receipts and payout tickets. I foresee us adding additional slot machine variants for sure. Excuse me. Creating Excalibur in Planet Coaster. Nice. You see this bug report, Michael, on Twitch. Cool Ginger. I'm on the most updated version from this morning, but my betting window just gave me the error that it is overflowing with goods and needs emptying. It also doesn't say what it's filled with. It just gives maintenance condition. Cool Ginger. Can you post that as a bug report on the Steam forums? And can you add your save reference ID by hitting escape or clicking menu and submit bug report? It'll give you a...
Yeah, I know I fixed it for a few other objects today, but it might not have worked for the betting window. That's the thing about complex simulation games is you think you've got it all figured out, and there's always like some exception. It's like I think I fixed like stuck garbage trucks about 5 times in the last 2 weeks, and there's always something different each time.
Yeah, that's how these games go. All too familiar. JHN Buzz, will you be able to save copies of rooms? Yeah, we were just talking about this, the three of us yesterday. It comes down to, it's very similar to the copying settings. It's on our radar though. We want to be able to have basically blueprints and let you share them on the workshop. Ricky WSF, will there be themes? I see of the Roman columns that there are, like if you look in the statues, there's truly like 150 different statues or so. A lot of themed walls, themed floors. We are gonna get mod support in for custom walls, custom floors. I don't know how many we'll add ourselves. I'm sure that there'll be at least a few that we see that we're like, oh, that's sexy, let's get it in. But the focus will probably be on mod support for it more so that you guys can go to town and and add whatever kind of textures you want. Texas Boy KC09. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. He said, I know Cortez at Fremont has coin machines still. Yeah, I think there's actually one or two, maybe 2 or 3 casinos that have at least a couple of coin machines on Fremont. But I think they're kind of discouraged. Yeah, that's something we'd like to get fixed. The doors, Tobias said, looks a bit weird. The doors open when staff pass by. I think we improved this so that when agents walk by staff doors, they don't open, but it's definitely, there's a lot of detail stuff like that needs improved still. Ricky WSF, little rope separators. Maybe I'll do that with fences right now. TX Boy Casey, are you on Mac or PC?
Also, how did the crash look? Pretty important to know. Well, to be fair, it's pretty hard to define how did the crash look on when you close the game. Basically, there's 2 types of crashes. Either the game actually crashes and you just see the desktop, but that is the intended behavior when closing the game. You want to see the desktop. The other issue would be a halting, as in the game halts and is stuck in some infinite loop, at which point Windows or Mac does tell you the program is not responding or some similar message. And the basic issue with it is that Windows or Mac just doesn't know if the program will ever respond and end. But you may know, so you are asked to close it or not close it, and that's the most annoying crash, really.
I know that I'm aware it happens on Mac semi-frequent, especially if I've got a pretty big casino going.
Gonna have to put down the encoder, by the way. Starting to lag.
Yeah, I thought I was seeing some frame drops.
Yeah. It's, by the way, it's not the game. It's literally my graphics card not being able to keep up with encoding it at this speed.
Sweet, thank you for submitting the bug report. Henrik, yeah, want to keep it true to life. I also, though, I want to see more event-driven stuff. I want to see, I don't know, I guess you guys haven't heard me say this yet, but everyone else here has. I want better feedback loop. If the guy's been sitting at a slot machine, he's got to pee and there's no bathroom, I want to see urine on the floor. I don't want him to just get up and leave. I want to see more action, inaction, immediate result, so that it's more obvious when you're playing, like what the hell you're doing wrong. I want to see guys that are super tired and there's no hotel rooms, like walking out towards the bus and maybe finding a corner to lay down and get cozy. That's what's fresh on my mind, at least. I don't think there's very many areas where we're going to do unrealistic stuff. We may embellish a little to get that feedback loop better. Yeah. Generally, though, that's how, I mean, we've never really tried to we've never tried to dumb things down too much. We don't want to be simulating like every possible entree for dinner. We need to abstract that a little bit, or it just is too much. But yeah, LOL. TX Boy KC09. LOL. There's videos of people doing that because they don't want to stop playing. It's funny. It's true though. The other thing. So when I was bowling in a league a year ago, I was talking to this older lady who was on my team, and her husband comes up to me and is like, "Do you have the smokers that have their oxygen can right there?" And I was like, "It's like they really do that?" And he takes me into the casino. So we're bowling right in the casino. Takes me and he points to this lady who is literally smoking a cigarette while she's got her oxygen tank hooked up to her nose cannula. And he's like, if that doesn't look like it's an explosion waiting to happen, I don't know what the hell does. Because it is. But I wouldn't mind seeing a lady explode once every, 1,000 game days.
We'll have to add old ladies into it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at college on my film course, we actually we worked with the fire service and we made a documentary about people who were smoking while using their canisters. And we actually went to the station, had this little bedroom set, and then we set it on fire.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. It went up quick too, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick.
I'm
surprised the casinos let them do it.
Yeah, I managed to get a good close-up of it because we could only do one take.
Yeah.
1 second, by the way. I just want to apply the new settings.
Can't believe it's been 2 hours already.
Yeah. So I switched out from quality preset to performance preset. But I'm
still a little bit jumpy.
Yeah.
Looks like you need a new video card.
Or I just offload it to the CPU.
That sounds like it would be worse.
Yes, it does. It kind of visually looks like it too.
I can play around with it.
We'll probably wrap it up. Customizable staff uniforms. So that is on our list and something we can do pretty easily. Guests dress according to their income. So yeah, we'd like to get a couple of variants of guest in. I'd like to see old people. I'd like to see young people. I'd like to see groups. It's actually a conversation I want to have with our artists today. One of the ways that we optimize this game is how we render everything. There's actually only 2 models of people that you're seeing in the entire thing, and they're just using different textures. It actually ends up looking pretty good. We just swap the textures and put different colors on them. But ideally we'd get 2 or 3 more models, like an old people, male, female, that kind of thing. That said, our artist, it's tedious. The character drawing is tedious to get it to get the same model to work for all these different uniforms is not trivial. I see a stuck. Oh, what? She got out.
Where was she stuck?
By the restroom. VIP customer Dana Robinson. That is coming, for sure. Smoking is coming for sure too, 100 frickin' percent. I smoke about a pack a day. There's gonna be smokers. In fact, I'm not feeling the best today, and something a little designy like that is kind of up my alley. Maybe something I tackle today. I also wouldn't mind doing the steam shower. Henrik, so you do see the cards. and even the chip stacks, but and they generally match the game rules, but we're not fully simulated. I mean, you could, yeah. At some point, you got to kind of draw the line. If we did make them all playable, then maybe we could do that. I don't see it happening. I do see it happening that you can walk around. If we had about $1 million, we could make them all playable. But if we're going to get a publisher to make that happen, the publisher is going to be like, he wants real gambling to happen in each game too. And I'd be like, I quit. Good for you to quit smoking after 25 years. I need to maybe when this game releases. Although I say that and I may have COVID. I am congested as all get out. But
when this game releases, I think you're a little too late then.
When it transitions.
Oh, okay.
Be additions, pulling for performances. Yeah, performances is something I want to improve. So I actually just convinced. Well, I say that. No, that's true. I convinced. I've been asking for the freaking curtains on theaters to open and close. I've been asking for it for so long. I finally got our artist to do it yesterday, and I have it locally. I got to wire it up. I also want some spotlights to move around, and yeah, we'd like to do more with the actors. We also have a thief uniform that's ready to go that needs implemented.
I thought we was going to have the thieves in disguise unless they only show up once they get like caught.
Yeah, or I thought we were going to switch them when they were about to steal something. I don't know. We have the skin ready though, so that that way you could see them for a moment. Will there be workshop modding? That is an emphatic abso-effing-lutely. Workshop modding is definitely coming. And probably sooner than later. I actually ran a test with a model that I imported at runtime. I was supposed to be working on bugs. And instead I imported some models at runtime. But I know it's possible, and we've got a proof of concept of it. We just need to hook up UI and deal with the workshop integration.
After the bugs have been fixed.
Yeah, Michael says we have to fix the bugs first. Humph. Security bubbles for the ceiling. There are security cameras for the ceiling.
You can also check out the roadmap, by the way, on Trello. There's a whole category just for modding stuff. And everything you can mod will be on the workshop.
Yeah, modding is, I think, going to be instrumental to this game. We can only make so many objects, and the sky is literally, you walk into a casino, there's a billion little things here and there. Letting you guys be able to make stuff and pull it in is going to be key. There's plenty of shit we're going to put in too, but especially when it comes to design type stuff, at some point you need to kind of let you pick what you want to have. JHN Buzz, gotta fix the bugs so you can introduce new ones. That's the funny thing. That's the truth, though, is that and we will take shit for this. I know it, and it's the reality. It's true. So I'm not gonna apologize. But once we get bug free, we're still gonna have. That's when we'll start adding new bugs because we'll start adding new shit. That's just how it goes. We could just get it all bug free and then stop and be we're done, but that defeats the whole purpose of early access. We want to add a bunch more shit, so we will be breaking more shit, but
Basically,
I think most of you guys know that. That's why you're here.
as long as you change any piece of code for anything, you will encounter new bugs.
Yeah, it's basically non-zero risk always.
If we had a bug jar which we added dollars to, I think we'd all be bankrupt in a day.
Juma Muhammad, will the stairs get patched soon with the AI dropping down then up as you see currently? I don't effing know, man. I've spent like an entire day looking at why that's happening. And as far as I can tell, it should not be happening. And the data is correct. It's like the rendering is off by 1 frame or something.
Well, to be fair, on the stairs, it actually looks like this. One of the waypoints is wrong. They do it longer than 1 frame. But for the escalators,
it's not wrong. It's they use the exact same waypoints.
on stairs versus escalators.
Yes.
I think it occurs on both the stairs and the escalators, the issue.
Go up 1 floor. Up.
See how they do it for a short time, not just a second, 1 frame.
That's not just 1 frame.
Yeah, like I said. On the escalators,
We need to get rid of. It shouldn't be moved towards. Just lerp them between 2 effing world space points and be done with this shit. Oh, so I don't know when we'll get that fixed. It's driving me nuts though, and I spent an entire day on it, and I told them multiple times. She got clothes on. Okay. Yeah, I told them multiple times. I'm like, I'll have this ready for this patch. I will, and I didn't, and I still have no effing clue. We will get it fixed though. It looks like shit. We'll get it fixed. All right, let's wrap this up. I want to make the agents smoke cigarettes. And I'm tired. I probably am going to be in bed in like 2 or 3 hours.
Are you sure you don't fancy
Tylenol.
fixing loads of bugs?
Oh, I think that I will make them smoke cigarettes. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we answered some of your questions. I'm sure we brought up just as many new ones as ones we answered. That's how it goes, and we'll be back to do it again probably a couple weeks. Yeah, I'd say probably right around Christmas time we'll probably do another one.
Sounds good. I'd usually say I will upload this save, at least for Sim Airport. That's what I always did after the stream. But that's not possible yet. Hope it will be soon. But for the moment you'll have to live without this save and probably build your own casino. I'm gonna say thanks for coming out, everyone, and hope to see you all soon.
Yeah, hopefully you guys join us on the next one. Hopefully Michael joins us in the visuals next time too, maybe.
So he can show us his,
Keep going.
his keyboard.
Move on.
Maybe. Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't yet, consider leaving us a review on Steam. It seriously helps with the game sales, and the better the game sells, the longer we can keep fireside chatting and doing what we enjoy. Yeah, beyond that, tell your friends. If they're not playing it yet, why the hell not? And the next one, we will get Michael dressed and see if we can't see him in the flesh.
What makes you think I'm not dressed?
Oh, we know. You're just like that lady in the hot tub.
It's a bug.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. You guys all have a great day. And yeah, we'll have patches for you as soon as we get some more shit fixed.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you guys. Thank you.